up your morning. Sometimes the night could have been so tough. But when you begin your day with us, of course, the light jokes, the fun at the start of the show will create the pace for you. So no matter how stressed you are, Joram Posong will always be there to predict and prophesy a good day upon your life, not forgetting the ladies with very beautiful smiles, that no matter how tough or gloomy the night is, you have a reason to smile. And of course, we go in depth analyzing issues that happen throughout the previous day, the night, and what are likely to happen throughout the day. Once again, I'm Robert Chirabonyonyitono, and with me, I have people with whom we are going to be discussing the role of intellectual property in achieving the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. Now, join me welcome Philip Karibala, who happens to be the manager copyright and neighboring rights at the Uganda Services Registration Bureau. Good morning and welcome.
Good morning, Chirao.
Well, a very smart gentleman, I must say that. Then just next to me is a lady. I'm not alone on set with a gentleman. This time I have also a lady, and this is Regina Nakauchi, who is Innovation Office. She's the Officer Innovation at the Center for Research in Energy and Energy Conservation. You're most welcome.
Thank you, Chirabo. I'm so glad to be here today, this morning, with you.
And I want to begin with a gentleman, this time not ladies first, from the Uganda Services Registration Bureau. One, what do you do? And also tell us more about intellectual property, something that is making a lot of talk around almost everywhere.
All right. Thank you for that, Chirabo, and good morning, UBC fans, including myself. Well, a Uganda Registration Services Bureau is a government agency that's mandated with registering different interests and rights in different aspects that we undertake. For instance, we have company registration, which is so known to Ugandans. I think that is the most common, company registration. So we also we also handle registrations of marriages. Yes, we handle registrations of marriages. We have a register for movable property. Say in case you want to do borrowing and you want to use your movable property as security, we have those registers. We also have a register for companies that are struggling with existence, what we call our insolvency, companies that are trying to struggle to to exist, not to go down, because our job there is really to see that we support them to remain afloat and to continue doing business. So we also have that responsibility with the registrar. And of course, the most important and the reason why we are here, we are the registrar for intellectual property, which means that things to do with innovation. And innovation, we are talking about different things. For instance, what exactly has brought us here, technology. We have creativity in the arts, and then we also have trademarks, which are signs and words and symbols that are used to run businesses. So we are the office that was positioned to do that, and we have an act of parliament, so we are legal. There is nothing, because sometimes people do not know where these things take place. They even ask questions: who are you? Where do you always find this hit back on social media? So we are here. An act of parliament established us and gave us the mandate to do those things. So under this theme, we are also conducting now. We are handling intellectual property, and at the end of this month, we shall have this, what we call the World Intellectual Property Day, more or less like. The whole world is given a theme and then told to work around it, mainly to check how intellectual property is benefiting different societies as based on the theme that has been presented.
Well,
Yes.
that is very interesting.
Yes.
More so when you talk about performing arts.
Yes.
Intellectual property is broad, like you said. It goes about innovation, though we find that's more sounding now in Uganda with the music industry. They're keeping on every time reminding government this is something that we must be pushing towards.
Yes, that is
now, it brings me to the lady. When you talk about Center for Research in Energy and Energy Conservation, what exactly does this center do?
Thank you so much, Mr. Chirabo. First of all, I greet every Ugandan who is watching us this morning. Again, my name is Regina Geraldine Nakauchi, and I'm privileged to serve as the Innovation Officer for the Center for Research in Energy and Energy Conservation. The center was started way back in 2001 under the leadership of Professor Da Silva. It was a project under the Faculty of Technology in the Department of Electronic Engineering. As the center, our mandate is to enhance access to modern types of energy through applied research, training, and advisory. As the center, and what I think is most fascinating for me to share, and which is most insightful today for our discussion, and where we link in with URSB in innovation, is the new aspect of innovation management. We work with scientists at the center to test energy solutions, to validate technologies, to offer explanation for scientific solutions, a lot more. Our focus areas among the many that we have energy for productive use, rural electrification, we have energy entrepreneurship, which brings us here today. We have energy efficiency, among others. I'm so glad to be here and to discuss more here.
Now, going back to Philip, you just talked about the World Intellectual Day. Please, let's throw more light into this. This year, what is the theme? We need to know. If there are celebrations, how are they going to happen? Because today we have what we call hybrid celebrations. Then we have. So let's dive into that.
All right. The World Intellectual Property Day, which is abbreviated as WIPD. Well, it's in the world of creativity under the UN agency, which is the World Intellectual Property Organization, which we call WIPO. They identified this day as a day to celebrate intellectual property. Now, Ugandans are innovators. We are innovators and we are also creative. So we are also a member of that UN agency. And so themes that are given to us at that level are very much relevant to us. So what happened is that we also want to find out, in the real sense, we need to find out whether these words like innovation are not so far away from the ordinary person, like really whether they are an exclusivity of educated people, PhDs, or when we talk of innovation, even a person, a Ugandan on the street can relate. You know, any other ordinary Ugandan can relate, because even if we are here speaking English and dressed in neckties, but actually the subject that we are talking about is a subject for the ordinary person, the ordinary man, the creator, the innovator. So we have what we call Sustainable Development Goals, which are called SDGs. These are targets, UN targets by 2030 to see that the world populations and societies kind of meet these targets. You know, they have set targets. So one of the targets is efficient use of energy. So sustainable. So we have SDG 7, which is about efficient use of energy, sustainable use of energy, and that's how we come in. Partnering with CRIC. Now, what happens is that we are going to look at that. That SDG, the one that I've talked about, and we see whether Uganda can actually, through now as IP, we actually speak to that particular theme. This is like two UN agencies that are partnering. We have now ours, and then we have the UNDP, which is in charge of those SDGs. So we are going to, it's going to be some kind of check. Does intellectual property support those? And what we found out is that this is a theme that is very relevant to us as Ugandans, because using energy efficiently speaks to us. You know, you've been watching TV. First of all, you know, the reality is that they are telling us that charcoal charcoal that we've been using generations upon generations now is more expensive than liquefied petroleum, LPG, gas. So you need to find out that people are telling you, no, charcoal is expensive. A bag of charcoal now is almost half a bag of charcoal is almost 100,000. And you've been watching on social media, also on mainstream media, how government and communities are against environmental destroyers who want to commercialize forests and very unique tree species for just burning charcoal. So we have that aspect. So here we are saying that how do we come up with energy so that I can cook my food, I can cook my tea in the morning, but the energy I'm using is not destructive to the environment. That is just the baseline of the relevance of this theme.
Okay.
Yes.
Going back to Regina, now on the perspective of innovators, how much support has been given to innovation in terms of renewable energy?
Thank you so much, Mr. Chirabo. Where I would want to start from, first of all, is to give a broader understanding of innovation. Then we can relate it to renewable energy. First of all, the process all comes from the creative mind, as my brother has highlighted. When our scientists, when the different innovators come up with these ideas, then they put them to work to make them viable products. That's when, for example, the center comes in. We have the bioenergy lab. At the center, we also have the solar lab, where solar technologies are tested. So first of all, at the center, the innovation aspect of making these ideas practical is realized. But then when you ask me what in my perspective, what kind of support have the innovators in this area, in this space, what kind of support have they been able to get? First of all, I would say yes, there have been a lot of support, though there are still some challenges. For example, we've seen that government has tried to come up with policies like the Renewable Energy Policy, the Vision 2040, which talks about the plan of government to achieve 80% electrification by 2030. But of course, the opportunity that we have here is that government does not highlight properly how we are going to actually achieve, how we are going to get this power, which is an opportunity for the innovators because it's a gap. Yes, we have the plan, we have the goal, the objective as an economy, but now how are we going to actually get that power? And of course, the opportunity with renewable energy, that it gives us a diverse mix of the energy provision. So, for example, we have hydropower, we have wind, we have solar from the sun, because first of all clean energy sources come from the environment. Yeah? And in the environment, we have natural resources. We have flowing water, we have wind, which gives us wind energy. We have the sun that gives us solar. So we have the abundant opportunities that have already, first of all, been created in the environment. Also, there are other stakeholders, just like the SETA. We have like the innovation hubs. We've had some stakeholders coming up with like innovative financing solutions. That is good because you realize that the whole innovation aspect is not really a one thing. It is a cycle. Just like you see business is a cycle. When we talk about these renewable energy technologies and innovation, we are not ending at the step of maybe creating these ideas, having these technologies at Creek in Makerere, or testing them to be like, okay, now this is a good, this is like a good cooking stove, modern cooking stove. We are looking at the longer aspect of like, can we get business sense out of it? Yes. And we are seeing that actually we are getting there. We are not yet there, but the opportunities are within us.
Now, sometimes, sorry to cut you short,
yeah.
I've interacted with a number of people from Makerere. By the way, there's a lot of innovation happening at Makerere.
Yeah.
But I think you're still having challenges bringing it down to the ordinary person.
Yeah, sure.
And making these solutions affordable to the ordinary person.
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of innovations, but sometimes when you look at costs, for example, in the field, just Phil talked about, when you talk about moving away from charcoal, using other forms of energy, you find sometimes they'll show you this much machine now, this stove. When you ask the cost, but this is still, we can maybe later make it to that. There's so much innovation.
Yeah,
But I think the business sense
Yeah.
is where there's still a problem.
Yeah, so that's why I had shared when we were starting the program that for me what is most interesting is the aspect of innovation management. So you realize that we are having our innovations, but the idea of innovation is actually how much impact can we get. So as the center, we've seen the exact gap that you're seeing. That's why the work at the center, yes, we are doing scientific work, we are grounded in science, but we complement our work with practice. So you realize that we have research projects that are interventions with the community to realize, to see how can we develop these solutions, how can they help the community. I can give you, for instance, we've had the energy kiosk project, whereby we had an energy kiosk and we were testing a certain technology, a solar power hub, and then the power hub was supposed to be, first of all, providing an alternative source of energy, but also we were looking at also validating that technology. So we are working towards it. Of course, it's a whole chain, it's a process, but the beauty about the management aspect, of course, when we bring in management, it is something new. Of course, people already doing their thing, but we know that in everything that we do, we can make it better. So as the center, we are looking, how well can we work? Because you see, innovation also goes in how do we engage? How do we, what is our business model like? Because innovation is closely related to business. It is actually the whole issue of it. The business concept must be coming out clearly.
Not bragging with something you invented,
so,
but it's just there for you and it's not
so
making money.
Exactly. So that's why at the center we stand today to say that it is critical to analyze innovation. We don't want to only look at how good is our technology, because we have an emission lab, we test the kind of emissions that we release in our environment, but also we look at the process, we track innovations, we evaluate, then we work in an ecosystem approach. That's why you see today we are working with URSB, we work with other partners, we work with the Ministry of Energy and other partners to ensure that we can have our solutions at scale. They can make meaning. There are a lot of challenges that innovators and scientists go through. For example, getting funding, collaboration, networking. That is important because all of us in our lives and even in the business world, we stand on the shoulders of giants. All of us in our own aspects, we are giants in a way, but we need other people that we can have a cohesive and comprehensive spirit that we can bring reality to our nation.
Okay, now I go back to Philip, the innovator here. Today we have a scientist with us and an innovator. Now the innovator here is saying they're now ensuring that they go down. It's not only about saying we have a modern incubator here. We have, when COVID we just had issues of COVID-19. There are some innovators, I think they are called Badang something. They came up with a machine that would help hand wash during COVID. Now I ask this young man, but how much is this machine? He says about 6 million. It was a very good innovation. And I told him, but are you planning to make business out of this? Because how many people would cough this amount of money just to have something there? Yes, you step down, you don't touch on anything, you wash your hands, then it dries, but it wasn't business. So I'm happy that now the innovators are focusing on how they make business. Now, I go back to the copyright. Help Ugandans understand what is the relevancy of copyright in the field of business. Why should I be so much interested? Have come up with my something. I also innovate, maybe, and why should I ensure that intellectual property I consider, or this being registered, what do I gain?
All right, actually, Chirao, let me look at it broadly from an intellectual property perspective other than copyright. That first of all, we have formalization of society. Society has to be formal. It is important when you use the systems of registration, government to know you. Ugandans have a disease of being, I think we call it government phobia now, the government phobia.
You know me, you tax me.
Yes, they are
when
phobic,
I'm doing my things under business,
they are phobic about government, which is quite unfortunate because government is out to support and to create an environment in which you can thrive. So one of the purposes of registration of intellectual property is to formalize. One, if you formalize and we know you, that is coming to the government side, to the national side, as opposed to you coming up with your creativity and staying in your room. Because even if you talk about commercialization, where do you start from? For instance, you've made a cup. You made a cup like these cups that we see, ordinary cups that we use. You've put a handle on it, and then you somehow manufacture multiple of them, and you think that you're going to come out in the market and even to sell, because even government itself might be against that particular aspect of you commercializing a product in a market where they have set rules that you might not be playing with. So the aspect of registration one is to formalize. Come, let's know you. That cuts across businesses, companies, but mainly also intellectual property. Now, when you register, it gives us statistics, and we get to know what's happening out there in the market. One, we shall get to know in terms of creativity, which we call creative works. We shall get to know how many creative works and what's out there. We shall also get to know in terms of trademarks or innovations, technologies, and these other trademarks that do business. For instance, of course, we say UBC is a trademark. When you come to register it, we need to know that this trademark is operational in the market. So those are the aspects of registration. But also, what is important is for government protection. You see, registration is a legal process. It's legal. That when you come and you register, like you register anything, you have wider protection. It is so unfortunate, especially, for instance, in the music world. In the music world or in the creative sector world, to which UBC can relate very, very easily, that you get individuals who are using material that is not theirs, even to improve their own materials. But you see, when a conflict arises out of such a situation, for instance, you are here, maybe UBC has played a song of a certain creator, but someone is coming out to contest and say, but that was not his work, that is not my work. But now, you've left the government, and the government is folding its hands, because it's saying that, how can I help you? One, you did not formalize with me, you did not come with us, so you've made these battles very informal in your area, and therefore government finds a challenge coming in out there to be supportive of you when you have a conflict. So part of the registration system, one, it is government mandate that everything has to be registered, because society, Ugandans have to transit from the informal way of being themselves to the formal known, because when you are formal, you are supported, you are protected, and you are supported. Intellectual property, when you talk about copyright, we are talking about music, we are talking about books, we are talking about film. It is so bad for you to get a dispute, or you want to be supported in a commercial sense, then you go to government. At that point, Ugandans love doing things at the last moment, and government says, you know what, but who are you? At this particular moment, we cannot come in so much to be of help to you. You are going to lose what you love so much, because first of all, you did not use the systems that were created by government in the first place. So that is the advantage of registering. Yes.
Well, why you should register as we look at IP, intellectual property, and the day is coming up, the World Intellectual Property Day. I'll go back to the innovator here. Now, can you tell us some of the notable innovations in terms of renewable energy?
Thank you so much, Mr. Chirabo. It has come to, first of all, I would want to add something on what my brother submitted. You asked that what is the role of IPs or intellectual property to maybe the economy or to boost innovations. IP is very critical, especially today in the world where we are today. First of all, I want to talk about change. We are in the midst of unprecedented change. We have technology. I mean, years ago, before, as we are seeing the evolution of computers, we did not have these smart gadgets with us. But someone moves with a high-performing machine in terms of a smartphone today. So meaning that we require IPs to drive innovation. Because at the end of the day, you don't know, you will wake up when your innovation has been taken. Because the role of IP is to protect what you have built, the creative mind, the process that you've put to it. And it's also very important that we understand what is really, really innovation. Innovation spans broader than the product. Also the process, because our people employing certain tactics that have helped their businesses thrive. We want to inform Ugandans today that even the processes, the management techniques can still be protected by our government here. And my brother can testify to that. Yes, so it is important because at the end of the day, even as the country, to achieve economic growth, you see, innovation is key for the economy, but it's also key for our standards of living. Because today, if we are saying that our economy is grappling with energy poverty, 57.2% is what we have here in terms of electrification in the urban center. And there is a disparity of 10% of that in the rural areas. We have a huge problem. 33% energy poverty level in this country. So if we can have intellectual property to drive this, because sometimes maybe our people are let down, you start your innovation and the same day you realize someone has mimicked it. But if you realize that you've created a product, maybe you've come up with a good stove, you come to the center, you're advised, there are advisors, highly trained professionals, and then you can get enlightened. You can go to URSB, they enlighten you. It is key. So it is very important that we understand that, and also as a country, I was reviewing the Global Innovation Index report, and as a country we are standing at 121 out of 132 countries. We are performing we are in 121 position. Of course, it shows that we are not performing so well, but we are doing something as a country. And we can move forward to that and even perform better. So our role is to make sure that everyone, whatever that we are doing, this is not really limited to us, maybe at the center with the energy solutions or URSB. It is more of an ecosystem approach. Then going back to your question, the process of actually getting solutions out of energy, it's a process. First of all, we have in conversion, whereby we can convert our raw resources to, for example, if we have like the sun, then we convert it in solar. Thus, we have gotten notable solutions like the solar home systems, which are powering our villages. Today, you go everywhere. When I go to my home place in Chota, you see that people are no longer in the dark. We've seen a lot of we've seen that solar has really helped communities. Our people cannot be in the dark. They can watch TV, they can charge their phones and do business. That is a notable solution. And also we have the biomass solutions, whereby we have the biogas converting waste to energy. It has come, and it's an interesting innovation. We also have the modern clean cooking technologies. We have the electric pressure cooker, very interesting machine there, using very little power. It is quite efficient. It helps you to cook. Our women, our mothers, our sisters don't have to suffer, going to look for the biomass in the forests, then going through the whole halubalu of carrying firewood and what. We have the electric pressure cooker today. And all these technologies are there at the center. If you come in Makerere, we've tested over 400 plus clean cooking technologies. Yes, we have them, all of them at the lab. We have different variations, which they are classified in tiers. Yes, the grading, improved cooking stoves of different versions. All these innovations are here. Even we have at Creek recently, at the center, we've worked on a hydro wheel project. Yes, this is in line with electrification, hydropower. So there is a lot that we can talk about. And also, interestingly, today, we have solutions in e-mobility. We have motorbikes today that are running on electricity. Yes. They are here. And if you come for the event, for people who shall attend the World IP Day celebrations here in Uganda, 26th in Kololo, we'll get to view this, but also I think we shall have some online interactions. So we have solutions in e-mobility. You are like, you're not limited with petrol. Of course, we know the fluctuating prices with petrol. Sometimes it gets so critical.
And we want to phase out fossil fuels.
Exactly. And so sometimes people are complaining the fuel prices are high. But this is a solution. An innovative solution is here. You just have to power your bike. We have also bicycles that are powered with electricity, and all of these ones will be seen. We also have our own Kiravi. Yes, yeah. So it is really broad that we can share today. Yeah, so that's some of the things.
You've just talked about the Kiravi, then there's this Kayola bus. It makes no noise.
Yeah, and it's
It doesn't
everywhere.
alert you it's coming.
It's everywhere.
It's everywhere, but I must say it's quite very impressive.
Very impressive.
Now, those are
It's
still
very
around the
impressive,
Entebbe Road. I
yes,
think
yes.
the Civil Aviation
Very
Authority
impressive.
use that bus. And one time when just passed me, what has passed? First time I saw this electric bike,
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
I was like, sure, no sound coming out of here,
Yeah.
no pollution.
Yeah.
Yes, these are innovations that are coming up. Well, allow me go for a break. I'll return with my two guests, and we are still discussing intellectual property and the World Intellectual Property Day. Keep it with us, we are returning.
Live from UBC Studios in Kampala. This is Good Morning Uganda Extra.
Once upon a time, there lived identical twins who gave birth to beautiful princes and princesses.
Their mothers give their babies' bodies a lot of care by applying on their skin with baby junior jelly.
So dried their chariots and everyone would admire their glowing skin. Fun fact, Baby Junior prevents diaper rash, dry and sensitive
Moms
skin.
all over Africa love baby junior jelly. Baby junior's the skin. No more worries anymore. Baby junior.
Baby Junior.
Nyati Motion Pictures brings you Tuko Pamoja, a documentary film about our unity as Ugandans and Africans.
Bunyoro would have simply created an East African community that we are looking for today.
The rulers of Bunyoro are actually Luos.
We people who live across the Nile, we are so related from our myth or from just the Nile.
We are the same people, and genetically we are even the same people.
We are similar people. We are one. Pamoja, we are one. Use that word, pamoja.
Premiering every week from 3rd February to June 2024 at the National Theatre and Indere Center. Daily screenings are from 4th February to June 2024 at Ham Cinemax and the National Theatre. To get a ticket, call 0778 787 660. Tuko Pamoja?
UBC is the national public broadcaster. We educate, inform, entertain, and inspire our audiences. You can watch us on free-to-air channel 001, DSTV channel 282, GoTV channel 371, Star Times channel 201, Zuku TV channel 20, and Azam TV channel 350. Even when your subscription expires, you can still watch UBC for free on your pay TV platforms.
Junko. Yo. What you go? Check the shopping, man. What's your secret?
Uganda, haven't you heard of the parish development model PDM?
Yes, I did, but I thought it was just a talk.
No, Sebatia. It is real. I and a few friends together formed a circle, accessed money from the PDM, invested in a portrait project, and now things are moving.
Junko. I thought I was one of your friends.
You are.
But you left me behind.
I didn't leave you in poverty. What you do, just visit your LC2 chairperson and your parish chief and start the process of economic transformation. Just like that. The parish development model is an initiative from the government of Uganda through the Ministry of Local Government designed to transform all lives of Ugandans for the better. PDM, my parish, my development, my life.
Live from UBC Studios in Kampala. This is Good Morning Uganda Extra.
Welcome back from that break. Thank you so much for being with us on UBC TV. We are still discussing intellectual property, and I have two guests with me. One from the that is the Uganda Registration Services Bureau, and he's Philip Kalibala, then a lady from the Center for Research in Energy and Energy Conservation. And now, Philip, let's go to the World Intellectual Property Day. Where is this going to be? Who are the people to participate? Who is invited? When? You know, Ugandans, we must know who is invited and who isn't, if at all there are restrictions.
All right. Now, first of all, the World IP Day is taking place on 26th April, which is about the other week. And this time around, we are happy and also honored to host it at our premises, because we have one of the best auditoriums, if not the best. So we are comfortable enough with that. We shall be proud to bring you to our home, but it will also be a master stroke, maybe achieving two things in one strike. We also want people to get used to our premises and our offices. These are more or less public offices, so there is also this phobia of not coming. Our offices are in Kololo, Baskerville Avenue. Yeah, so when people hear that a government office is in Kololo, they kind of, but we want to demystify that, you know. They kind of become phobic. They are scared, you know. The lifts everywhere it is. Some people have never been to Kololo. They think that Kololo is really, but come here.
It's not a place to just meander from.
Yes, but we want to demystify that and tell you that Kololo has a government office, a government agency, which is actually serving Ugandans ordinarily. Yeah, so you're welcome to come. You're welcome to join us and get the feel of it. But we shall also host you in our auditorium, which is like I've said, it's one of the best. Ugandans will be shocked, those who have not been there. So we are proud enough to bring you to our home. And now we also have our partnerships. We are partnered with Creek, where Regina comes from. Already she's here. And then we also have partnerships with Office of the Prime Minister. And we hope that we shall again be honored and privileged enough to host the Prime Minister herself. We are greatly working on that. I don't want to unwrap what we are working on, but we are hoping that it will come to pass. We are also working with the UNDP. Yes, as our stakeholders. Of course, the UNDP are in charge of these SDGs, and all these people are scheduled, and the officers and all these institutions are scheduled to come and be part of it. So it's going to be well, it will be an engagement, such an engagement that Ugandans should be part of, so that we can really know how these SDGs, like I've said, and Regina has said it here, do not fear innovation. It's not for me. It is not for us. It's not for PhD holders. First of all, it is you ordinary Ugandans that invent these things. You're the ones who come up with these technologies. You've had, you know the Katwe industrial, or you can call it the Katwe technology hub. And it's been with us for generations, including making automobiles, cars that move using certain energies that we do not know. So innovation is not for, it's important that all Ugandans can tune in and see where this is leading on sustainable development goals, to see how we can use energy efficiently, and to see how intellectual property actually can support. Because Regina has been telling you the purpose of IP. The purpose of IP in this chain, so to say, chain, that IP is what creates this, and then we have other partners that play a certain role until the product finally gets to the market. So we have this, we shall have followers online, of course, on YouTube, on our social media handles. They are going to be there just to expand this for Ugandans. Thanks to the COVID, because we got something. So COVID made us go online, and we shall not go back. You know, it went us go on these platforms. Like you cannot have a physical activity. Even right now, UBC, we know that we are on these platforms. So yes, to expand us.
There's live streaming.
Yes, it's live streaming, and also to globalize us. Not just Ugandans, but our diaspora, all our interests, people who are interested in Uganda and the innovation space are going to be there. So that is a global audience, more to say. That is the invite. The links will be there. You can go on YouTube. But we shall also have physical persons who will include scientists, people in the innovation field. They can come and be physical. And we shall have a panel. So a panel is good because it kind of creates a situation where the managers, the people who are in charge of innovation can now speak ordinarily to people. They can get questions from them, and we can discuss really things that are relevant to Ugandans in as far as energy use is concerned, and technologies and intellectual property. Yes.
Now, I see time is flying, but I'll go to Regina. Now, how can an innovator in renewable energy benefit from the services of CREC?
Oh, thank you so much, Robert. Innovators can really benefit from CREC in different ways. First of all, from where I came from, I also had not mentioned this, but CREC labs are certified under ISO 17225, and meaning that we're recognized for testing technologies. So you can come and we test your solar technologies. You can come and we test your bioenergy technologies. For example, the clean cooking technologies, the stoves and all that. But also, we do offer explanations for science. You know, the reality behind this, just as my brother mentioned, that science is, being creative is really interesting. Why? You can create with your mind, and then you don't even have the science behind it. And then government is telling you, to get intellectual property, you must bring us the facts of this thing. So at CREC, you can come and we offer you...
Just reminded me
of
something funny. There was a Ugandan, was it Mitiana who came up with a plane? It took media space, wasted time.
They were not wasting time.
Then he said, I'm going to fly this thing on this day, only to wake up to have been surrounded by police. He's being told. He's being told how we needed clearance. And the man, when we went there, was telling us, I made my thing. Where were they when I was coming up with this? Now they are telling me I require this permission, I require certification from this body and this body. But I suffered to get this thing where I've gotten it. However, we thank God it never hit the skies. Yes, continue, please.
Yeah. So, Robert, so for such creative minds, because at CREC, our engineers are always there to welcome you, to offer you consultancy, to test and tell you the science, maybe air control of the machine, durability. And also on top of that, we validate, but also CREC is looking critically in the line of experimenting and learning. So we also work on different research and community projects. If you're interested maybe on finding out how will your technology work in the market, and also other stakeholders. We've worked on quite a number of major projects. Yes, for example, the first project on testing the electric pressure cooker, really this was initiated by CREC under a certain UK developer, and we've had this project for some time just to test this technology and what can be its impact and effects within our community. So that is part of it. But going back to where I started from, at CREC right now we are looking, and in line with sustainable development, managing innovation is quite critical. This is the horse that I cannot hit hard enough to make it die, because it's the reality which is here. We have change. We are in a very complex environment. If you don't wake up to the reality, then you get a problem. So at CREC, we are saying that we are ready to learn, to keep learning, not only learning from the technologies, from the science that is being created at CREC, because we have tested different models. Even if you come at the center, you can check in different classifications of renewable energy. But also we look at learning together with our people. You can come at CREC and we experiment on what you've done, but also we learn, because the more we learn, you see, innovation is critical, and it is pivotal to growth and to even sustaining business performance. Because at the end of the day, businesses want to earn more profit. But if you're not innovative, someone may surpass you or may challenge you, and then you get issues. We can look at Henry Ford. Henry Ford, I'm sure, if he had asked the people then that what is best, coming up with this, me developing this motor vehicle, or coming up with a better horse, maybe people would have told him, come up with a faster horse. But through learning, innovation, they're able to come up with, that distinguished innovation. Now we have the Ford company, the Ford brand. So we know that part of innovation is also looking ahead. What have we done and where can we go? So we welcome people to learn with us, to work on these projects, to manage. We also, as I mentioned, as the center, we work in the line of managing these innovations, to assess. We put our different scientific innovation models and frameworks that help us to assess these solutions, effectiveness, efficiency. So it is a wonderful journey that we can have together, and yeah, it's quite interesting.
Well, innovators, you're not alone in this. They are better, they are more brains, and they are ready to work together to see that your innovation turns out to your dream, and most of your energies, your knowledge is protected as well.
Yeah, sure.
Now, Philip, we must get out of here, to be honest. But I'll just have your final remark.
Well, I want to thank UBC, our big network, for hosting us. Really, it's an honor, because we know that UBC has very wide coverage. And also to discuss this subject and topic of intellectual property that is very critical to Ugandans, but maybe misunderstood and not given a chance. But when Ugandans open up their eyes to IP, they will know the potential to develop, to progress, to transit our society, and also for a livelihood, because technology products are real money. That's what we trade in the market. So when we have and we've created, the benefits will be ours. But we also want you to be part of the World IP Day. Be part of the World IP Day and know the things that really concern you. One, Ugandans are using less efficient energy that is destroying our environment. And then it's because of the aspect of not knowing, or what we call ignorance, that you live very expensive lives when we should be living efficient and very affordable lives. So the relevance of this theme today is to open up to you and tell you, look here, we have this solution, and when we all work together, we shall protect our environment through this intellectual property and innovation. That's what the World IP Day is about, on 26th April.
Well, hope you'll be there the 26th of April. That is time?
The tape, we shall start early in the morning. By 8 we are there. We shall, and then the whole day.
Okay.
Yes.
And I know our innovator may have at least one word in a minute for our people before we get out of here.
For our esteemed viewers and Ugandans, it's a wonderful thing to know that you're following us and you love innovation, you love your country. It's an honor to be here this morning. Please keep following the Intellectual Property Day, but also follow the Center for Research in Energy and Energy Conservation. We have your interest at heart for climate change, for renewable energy, and we love you so much, everyone that is watching. My people at Creek and everyone, it's a wonderful thing to know that we are all working together to transform Uganda.
Well, thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen, for your time, but most importantly, our viewers. Thank you so much for always being with us, those that were with us from 6:30, those that have just joined particular segments. We cherish you, we honor you, and never take you for granted. Robert Chirabo Nyonyitono wishing you the very best of your day. Good morning.
Live from UBC Studios in Kampala, this